Wrestling Guide with your hosts, the Hall of Fame referee JHawk, the not-so-mysterious benefactor Jgold, and the legendary Charly Butters.
I am your host, Charly Butters. Welcome to IW Guide, Season 10. I'm the host with the least. Jgold is the host with the most. And Jared is the beauty with the beast.
Oh, we're doing rhymes.
We're talking about Absolution from this year. And no, my testicles were not assaulted by Jared's wife. She did come correct, though. She did have her mustache lined up properly. It was looking beautiful. She was looking right.
What the fuck?
The only reason you didn't get kicked in the junk was because she wore the wrong shoe. And I fucking yelled at her about that too, by the way.
Oh my! What is happening? This is how we're kicking off season 10?
How we're doing it. It's how we're doing it tonight.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back from summer. I hope everyone had a great summer. Summer break at least. I know I have had a wonderful summer. And yeah, welcome to season 10 of the Indie Wrestling Guide.
I was getting lots and lots and lots of people saying, when is the show coming back? I love the summer episodes, but I really missed the show. And I was like, August 8th, it'll be back. Finally, August 8th is here. And this is what you guys wanted. So this is what you're going to get this season. We have all kinds of new sounds, bells and whistles and bullshit. I'm
mostly
stuffy.
bullshit.
I sound like shit right now because I'm just getting over the flu. Trying to
salty.
do 17 things right now at once. My plate is pretty full. Jgold knows this. He was actually in on a conversation about the entrance music that I mentioned in my Twitter post, which then alerted like certain people to message me and ask about the entrance music question and ask what that was all about. So people were not taking anybody's job. I'm not replacing Mr. Two Legs. I don't think anybody can do that at this point. I'm just working on some stuff for some good folks, it's just stuff like that. So
That's good. It's been a busy weekend. We were all together except for Mr. JHawk at Against the World, which we'll be covering in a week or two. 2 weeks, I believe it is. It was a great fucking weekend for SummerSlam in Cleveland. I have never seen Cleveland buzz quite like I did for John Fogerty on Saturday night. I honestly, we got in Wednesday. We had a really nice dinner with the big boss and Mr. Kaplan and Mr. Two Legs. And it ended with Bill Alfonso sleeping on the couch in my hotel room. So
damn.
I know I saved that little one for you, Butters and Jayhawk, because we didn't really say anything, but at the after party, Fonzie was like, "Hey, Daddy, I got a show tomorrow, and I didn't get a hotel room. You think I could stay with you?" Or Thorne said, he said that we were all friends. We could do that. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, Fonzie, fucking come on and stay on in the hotel room. We were lucky. We got a suite upgrade. So Fonzie slept in the living room and we took the other room, and I was glad to help him out because he's just a really nice guy. And yeah, the whole weekend, the whole 2 days I was there was just awesome. I really like the temple. I know you don't like the prices or like the bullshit, but the temple itself, the venue itself is pretty awesome. I know they did ECW there. I get it. I just felt like it was a really cool venue. I thought the beers were a little pricey. The hot dog was really gross, but I mean, I thought it was great. We got to say, I know you didn't get a chance to, Butters. We got to see Jason Ayers. We had a lot of fun, interactions. We won't do any of the reviews or talk about the show, but it was awesome. There was nothing else I'd rather be doing on a Thursday night than be at that show in Cleveland on SummerSlam week. So it was definitely a fun week. Now my kid comes home on Friday, so all that comes crashing down. And that's the end of that. So in case anybody cares, I'll be back saying no to everything after Friday afternoon.
Yeah, man. This weekend was crazy. So not only did I do AIW Against the World, I was supposed to do GCW. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I just wasn't feeling up to it, but I did do 2 days of Wrestlecon working for Capsule Toys. Day one, pretty standard day. Got up there, getting everything ready. hanging out for a big chunk of the day. Met the Hardys because that was on my birthday. So check that out.
Are they cool?
They were pretty cool. Matt was really cool. Was teasing about getting some new WWE figures made. Getting everybody all popped and hyped up for that, which kind of made me laugh because I know they got like another set of AEW figures coming still. And then so we're just chilling at the table, like selling stuff, and all of a sudden I see Caden at the junk shop toys booth, which is like right in front of us. And I'm like, okay, there's Caden, and then I'm looking at the guy next to him, and it's fucking Zilla Fatu just chilling,
Nice.
like checking stuff out. And I look and I'm like, man, I'm like 95% sure that's him. So I look over at Rick and I say, hey, Rick. And he looks at me. I'm like, that's Zilla Fatu over there. And he's like, really? I'm like, I'm 95% sure. And our other guy that was with us, Ryan, he looks over and I'm like, that's Zilla Fatu. And he looks and he pulls out his phone and like obviously looks it up. And I'm like, I pulled out my phone, looked it up. I'm like, yeah, that's him. And he comes over and he was looking for a figure of his dad, the new Jamal figure that's out.
Oh yeah.
And Rick was like, we had one, so he was like, oh, how much is it? And Rick was like, for you it's free, but you got to take a picture with us. So he was all excited about it, took a picture with us. We all were honorary uses for the day.
That's fucking cool.
And then so then Saturday we do the thing, and I meet RVD, and I was thinking about meeting Scott Steiner, but I didn't do it. And we had some interactions with Lita and Trish and them on Friday, which was really cool.
Is RVD cool?
RVD was pretty cool. They were like getting drinks, and it was like noon. They were getting drinks. Him and his wife. Trish Stratus, though, gorgeous in person, super awesome. She like stopped by our table and like was just like, hi everybody, like happy WrestleCon, was super nice. We were all fighting over because she was talking with Rick, and I was like, don't you be fucking flirting with my wife. That was a good time.
How many wrestlers are at WrestleCon at one time?
So this one had like, I don't know, like 30, but usually there's even more. Like at the WrestleMania one, they have like, it's even bigger.
30, that's it? I always thought there was like 100, like 150. But
WrestleMania weekend, there's going to be a lot like that.
It's always like that. Yeah, like it's the one in Vegas, the WrestleMania weekend next year will be huge. Now, if they do the one, there's rumors that they're going to do one for the Rumble in Indianapolis. I think that's where it's at this coming year, right? Yeah. If they do that, we're invited to that one. So
cool.
We might be doing a Rumble weekend in January. So
that's a lot. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be fun.
I told the boss, I was like, if you get a U-Haul, I was like, I'll drive it to Vegas. I was like, we'll drive to Vegas. We can drive to Vegas and sell figures for WrestleMania weekend in Vegas. And he's like, I don't know about that. So I was trying.
That's so much fun. I remember going to the one in 2019 in Manhattan. I got to meet Vicky Guerrero and who was the nicest human being ever at the time. And then Scott Steiner, who was actually really nice, like just a nice guy. You didn't want to sit there and ask him, and talk to him for an hour, but just to everyone who came up, he was very cool. And, he didn't shoo people away. If people had questions, he was willing to sit there and talk. Mm-hmm. So I think that's how I judge guys nowadays, like some of these old timers. If they're willing to hang in there and just kind of shoot the shit, I give them, much higher grades. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So like as they were, a lot of the people were coming through our room, which was like the vendor room, which only had High Spots, us, and Junk Shop Dog.
Oh, those guys are still around?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So that was because High Spots is who runs WrestleCon.
Yeah, I didn't know that Junk Shop, whatever they're called, I didn't know they were still around.
Yeah, they we bought a bunch of their figures to sell in the shop, and they're selling like hotcakes right now. People love them.
I got that Bruiser Brody hat from them, the one that has like King Kong on the lid.
Yes, he was wearing one, and I was going to ask him if they're going to do a reprint because I want one. It's pretty sick. And,
they're small. My head is just tiny for it.
But they're really nice. They're Australian, so they're really nice. I'm hoping they're going to do the When We Were Kids podcast that Rick does for his for the toys for
that's cool.
Youngstown.
Cool. Well, I forgot to mention that none of you have lived until you watch Kaplan eat a tomahawk steak. You haven't really lived until you've watched him. He's never had one, and he took one down when we were at Morton's, and
Yeah.
that was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Oh, I've never lived until I'm eating a tomahawk with Kaplan at Morton's, but that's a story for another time. We got lots to cover, but we're going to keep talking about our lives because you missed us, and it's been an entire month away.
Yeah.
Also, what else did happen at Wrestlecon? There's some other cool stuff. So, day 2, the vendor room we were in had a door right by us that like closed off to the other section that had all the wrestlers in it.
Mm-hmm.
And people would come through and they didn't realize the door is like has a grip on it, but you have to push. And so everybody was coming in and like trying to like pull the door and not realizing you had to push, including Lita, who did this. And everybody's like, oh, you know, she's not a very nice person. And I mean, she didn't like say thank you, but she like her and I both chuckled that she thought it was a pull. But we also did get X-Pac to autograph a 1-2-3 Kid retro.
You got the green on card?
Green on card. Yeah, that green on card.
So do you have a buyer for that?
Nope.
What is he selling it for? Like $1,200?
$1,400.
That's with the signature. That must have went up.
JSA signature of X-Pac. Yeah, went up from the 12 to the 4. Yeah. So
that's what, like this a super rare, right? It's like that's like a super duper rare one, right? With the no eyebrows type of thing.
Well, yeah, that's basically, I mean, that's what happened with that card, but that figure with a mint card is ultra rare. So that's why I told him, I was like, if it doesn't sell on day 1, we got to go get it autographed and JSA'd.
Yeah.
And apparently it wasn't even the first one he signed that day. He signed 2 of them. Somebody else had 2 of them mint on card like that and got him JSA'd. So he wasn't the only one there with that figure in mint. So there was 3 of them in Cleveland at that time. So I mean,
do you have the Ludwig Borga one, the one that everybody wants? I saw one of them at the Wrestling Universe once. They had it in like a glass. I was like, how much? Like 1,500.
I want to say we have him loose, but I don't think we have him on card.
The on card, I think more than the X-Pac one.
I believe it. There's some of them that are just outrageous out there, and they fluctuate too.
And Yokozuna too, right? There's like a secondary card for Yokozuna that wasn't like a big one that now is super rare.
Yeah, that stuff, like, it fluctuates. It's really crazy. Like I'm learning so much about it because like I really never cared for those figures, but like now I'm learning all about them and stuff, and it's really cool to like. It's kind of crazy to hold a piece of plastic that's worth $1,400.
You know what's crazy about that? You say that. I have an Owen Hart on mint on yellow, the yellow card Owen Hart when he was with Coco Beware.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth like maybe, I think they told me like maybe 200. So like the value of those things to have like that kind of fluctuation is crazy to me. Because I'm looking at the exact same one. I have it in mint condition on my wall, and it's nowhere near the same price.
Is put it in a protector and just hope that it goes up. Yeah,
I have it. It's all in a protector. I think I bought it in the protector when I got it at Wrestling Universe. So
final story for WrestleCon. As we were leaving, this hotel super duper fancy. A lot of the videos that you see coming out of out of SummerSlam weekend took place at this hotel. As we're leaving, we see Zilla getting his hair done at the barbershop in there, and he sees us, waves, and says, "I'll see you soon." And so we're all kind of chuckling about that. We ran into Rob Feinstein several times, and
I was about to ask you about that actually.
Had to reserve myself and not harass him or assault him because I didn't want to break any rules or do anything like that. But piece of shit human. Was bothering the Dudleys. Every time I saw him, he was bothering the Dudleys or somebody else. He was like bothering people for shit. So
bothering the Dudleys.
Yeah, the fact that we are far enough removed from that incident that people were like, "Why is everybody mad at this random dude?" Right? You forget how far back that was until.
Yeah, but I think most wrestling fans have forgotten, right? They all know what a piece of shit he is.
A lot of people were getting reminded. There's a lot of new wrestling fans that have no idea about that guy.
Right.
So So, I mean, there's a lot of people that, did the reminding and showed them video footage and showed them all the stuff. So, I mean, it's out there. Yeah. It's all on Twitter. It's all out there.
But it's been 20 years. I mean, there were people at that con who weren't even alive when this shit happened. No.
Yeah. So,
oh my God, that's really true, JHawk. You just dated us, man.
I understand.
Holy fuck. Well, what else, Butters? Did you do anything after that? Where'd you watch SummerSlam? At home?
I didn't even watch SummerSlam, dude. I went home and went to dinner for my birthday to Texas Roadhouse and wasn't feeling well. And then I woke up the next day sick. So
damn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got sick at the AIW show. So somebody out there was carrying around a bug, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you dirty motherfuckers.
So to staying home and not getting everybody sick, you got me fucking sick, and I'm mad at you. So I don't know who you are, but
hey, you didn't want to miss the fucking show. The show was awesome.
They could have watched it at home. They didn't be fucking getting everybody sick. It got me fucking sick. Shout outs. Shout out to Patty. I got to see her. And
hey, Patty, good to see you on Thursday. And it was great seeing your pictures from the fucking box at SummerSlam that the AIW guys were sitting in. Yeah. That was some crew. You belonged in there, and that was great to see you there, happy and celebrating Chandler.
And how fucking cool was Kevin Owen coming out in that fucking Chandler Biggins shirt on Saturday?
Yep.
I mean, honestly, it's one of the coolest fucking things. I can't sometimes, like, just getting to know you guys and then learning AIW. His love of AIW is unmatched. Like the loyalty. If he is the most loyal guy I've ever seen in my life. Like, he has not forgotten. He never forgets. He does speeches. He does the shirts. He takes care of Thorne when he's in the area. Like, what a guy. Holy crap. If you had any questions about Kevin Steen, all you need to know is he is a genuinely good human being.
Well, even when Matt Riddle first did that thing about, when he backed out that one show, and the first thing he said was, "What's he talking about? That locker room's great."
Yeah, that was when Lewis Linden was the pirate, right?
Right.
Also, shout out to Zach, who sent me an awesome birthday gift. He sent me a Penta knockoff figure from Mexico that looks really crazy.
Oh, you have it with you? Where is it?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, we'll look at that. As Mr. Butters is going to get that, JHawk and I are plotting his demise.
Yeah, we can't get rid of Butters that easily, unfortunately.
Right.
Like this weird, like, it comes with
that's
like a
cool.
CMLL belt. It's like he found it in an indie show. Yeah,
the packaging is like the yeah.
He's like, "Oh man, they got a Penta here." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And he's like, "You're getting it for your birthday," because we always
fucking
like all kinds of weird shit like that. So,
dude, shout out to Zach, by the way, and his Rubber City Toys fucking newsletter. Wow, that was great. It's great. It's absolutely
Chris
great.
And Andrew and Brock and everybody that's going to join now that we're doing watch-alongs on the Patreon.
Yep. I hope everybody, if you're listening, go on and watch that watch-along. We had a lot of fun at the beginning of the summer doing that, and then we just kind of derailed a little bit, but we will be doing a lot more of that in the winter. But, when Butters finds matches I have not seen, it's a lot of fun to take a look at and do that.
There's plenty. And we have some guests coming on with us. Dominic Garini will be on. Derek Dillinger is going to come on with us. Young Ed will be on with us to watch some stuff. So lots of fun people to be on to watch some goofy wrestling with us and just have a good time. So
that's awesome. We have a lot of good things going, and Butters has been working diligently behind the scenes to make this show what it went to become, as good as it can be. And I think everybody's going to enjoy a lot of the new enhancements and things that we're bringing. So keep an eye out, everyone.
What's on this weekend?
All right, over on Triller TV, powered by Fight, Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern, IWC presents Cage Fury, Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. Main event will be a War Game-style cage match. Team Plumber of Spencer Slade, Kanan Christopher, and Andrew Pallas against Team Storm of R.C. Dupree, Jackson Argos, and Jack Pollock in the main event. Katie Arquette defending the women's title against Lexus Shin. Going to see Duke Davis against Felix Khan. Phil Collier defending the IWC Heavyweight Championship against AJ Lee. Gannon Jones defends the Super Indy title. Plus, Victor Benjamin, Anthony Katina, Mila Moore, Jamie Jamison returning Man Dime Elijah Deem, and much, much more.
Excellent. Not a whole lot going on the IWTV side this week, but there is on Saturday night, August 10th at 7 p.m. It's going to be New Texas Pro presents Ram Jam live from San Angelo, Texas. The Dream Team and Isaac Morales versus Just Vibin and the Sheriff. Charity King versus Hyen. San Angelo Street Fight, Jack Calloway versus Pac Ortega. Lone Star Championship, Diego De La Cruz versus Max Heights. And the New Texas Pro Championship, Stephen Wolf versus Danny O'Ryan. If I could, as part of IWTV, I went to the ETU show a week ago from Saturday, and I just want to tell everybody, because we were sponsors, and we are going to speak with Struggles, and I just want to say they put on a great show. So I think we're gonna do some reviews of their shows. It's a lot of fun. At one point, I had family there, and we were drinking a lot, and I think Struggs told us we got in some trouble there for drinking shots at the Mecca. Who would have known shots is where they drew the line? Yeah, it was a buttload of fun, and I think everyone should check out ETU also. Any chance you get, go back and watch the show, because Big Sam takes a crazy risk in that one. Bishop is against Brandon Kirk, and Derek is in this four-way tournament, and Derek really has some great moments. So check it out, and we're going to be keeping our eye on a lot more of ETU in the future.
Yeah, that review's coming up pretty soon. We're also going to do some stuff with 880 this fall. I've worked up some stuff. We're going to make Derek defend that IW Guide Championship that he won and is holding hostage. So
holding hostage.
He is.
God damn it, Derek.
Holding it hostage. He's got to defend that shit soon.
He's fallen into Shayna Baszler territory.
We don't have a 90-day policy or a 60-day policy or any of that bullshit. But once every couple months. I mean, Jesus.
Shit. Well, what are we doing?
It's review time.
Yes, sir.
Doing a review.
And we are reviewing AIW Absolution 17, took place July 13th, 2024 from the Temple Live Asylum Room in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, airing live on Triller TV.
Now, I wasn't at the Temple for this show, but being at the Temple for the last one, as I said before, I really do like the vibe in there. Those tabletops are the best way to watch wrestling, I think. It's better than sitting up top at the White Eagle in Jersey. Those tabletops give you a great view. You're raised above everyone else. You don't get bothered. I like it very much.
Yeah, the wife and I were up in the mezzanine area, second row of the mezzanine, and we had a great view of everything too. My wife actually really liked those seats. So,
I think those GA tickets are a great value. If you just go in there and sit, in those GA seats above, those are also there's no one in your way. You have a good enough spot where no one's in your way.
I like that you're hyping that building that we'll no longer be going to.
Oh, I know they're not. I wanted to just say, I thought it was a fun building. I love seeing new places and watching wrestling in different places. So, I'm just saying that from my experience there, it turned out to be a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I thought this show they really dressed up Temple Live. They used they had the whatever those scaffolding set up for the ladder match. They had those special lights on the stage, which made it really feel big. It just felt like a very big event. And I watched it again today. And again, kudos to them, because it did feel like their biggest show of the year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss trying to buy a $15 general admission ticket and paying almost fucking $30. Fuck Ticketmaster, but
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm not going to miss about that place. I mean, yeah, it looks great on TV. There's some great seats there to watch it, but the cost and $20 to park. You got Ticketmaster fees on top of shit. I mean,
and there's not even anywhere to get food around the building.
What's funny is it looks like just a giant Tadmor shrine. It really, when you walk in, you're like, oh, there's like a spot to the left with a security office, and you're walking through it doesn't feel like anything that you should be paying out the nose for. You know what I mean? It feels like a very large Shriners or whatever. And that's the biggest problem is and the people in Cleveland people don't want to do that in Cleveland. They don't want to get charged at the ass. So, I get they're going to go look elsewhere, but it was cool for the time, and visually for this show, it was a perfect look.
I did have to laugh though. You mentioned it basically kind of looking like a tad more. When we got there, the first person I saw was Young Ed. I went, Jesus Christ, they'll let anybody into the temple, won't they? And he go, no, actually, like, well, I don't come here that often.
He's the best. I got to hang out with him at the after party the other night, and he drove in, and unfortunately, Young Ed got a speeding ticket on his way out. So it cost him more to get there than it did to hang out for an hour or so. But, Young Ed rules. Anyway.
Okay. Anyway, there was a pre-show match on this card. It was a six-way scramble. Austin James, Shelby Wilder, Trey Lamar, Tyler Jordan, Tyson Rick, and Jay Garcia. Fun way to get the live crowd into it, although they really ran up against the clock here. They didn't start introducing anybody till like 7:15 for a 7:30 main show start, so they had to kind of rush through everything.
I felt like the stream caught the end, right? The stream kind of caught the last bit of it out of nowhere, so...
I will say there was lots and lots and lots of Shelby love for that match. So
he's really becoming something. I'm proud of that kid. The whole Peaches thing and everything else, it's great. And I told him when I saw him that he should keep doing it and just keep pushing, because it is something that is going to get him over in a lot of places. So yeah.
Yeah, they're Mr. Peaches kind. We had Mr. Peaches in the crowd.
I saw Man Bear Pig Kid in the venue the other day. He doesn't say what's up or nothing, but yeah, maybe he knows I call him that. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but some fun stuff. They were trying to rush through it because of how late it started. Jay Garcia gets the win in about 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And I knew they were coming really close to 7:30 because, like, as soon as the bell rang, Jay Clemens came from the back and it was like practically begging people to get to the back. We kick off the main show with Jocelyn Navarro against Gaia Brookside.
Yeah, that was just Jocelyn wanting to beat the shit out of Zaya from, was it the show before when it was the three-way? And she called her out and said, I'm just going to kick your ass at APSO. And yeah, that's what she did. She kicked her ass good.
Yeah, I'm glad we're seeing Gaia Brookside on a fairly regular basis in AIW.
I mean, she's what? Is she a TNA wrestler? I'm not sure. Where is she from? Where is she doing a majority of her work?
As far as the majority of her work right now, I'm not sure, but she was in NXT UK for a while. I think she is in TNA right now, come to think of it.
She was in NXT UK, but once that disappeared, she went to TNA, right?
Yeah, she's been in TNA as of late here. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good match. A good start. Jocelyn always seems to get like a opening or beginning match on the card to get people going, and people do respond well to her. They respond well to Zaya, so definitely a good start to this show.
You have any thoughts, Butter?
I don't remember much of this match. I do remember Zaya Brookside played sort of like the heel here, which was really interesting. I really don't like when they have one women's match on the card and that's what opens the show. Seems like they do that all the time, though. But yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
It was Jocelyn Navarro getting the win. And from there, we have our first title match of the evening. The AIW Tag Team Champions Money Shot, accompanied by the Duke, defending against PME, accompanied by Bill Fonzie Alfonso.
Yeah, this was the only, at this time, the logical way to go, if you ask me. I think some of Money Shot was kind of running its course, so I was kind of happy. They did go in that direction, but pretty standard PME match. They get that babyface come back and get going, and everybody really does get up and get going and moving and getting excited. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. Now, refresh my memory, JHawk or Butters, was Papa Pep in this match too, or no?
Yes.
That was this show? I'm all confused because there were like 3 Temple shows in a row, so I get confused sometimes. So Papa Pep came out at the end, right?
Yeah, he came out as the referee and counted the 3 for PME.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, look with the according to Joe Poco, look with the big surprise that Jay Clemens promised of a Papa Pep coming out.
Oh, that's right. Vansky was there and Sposto was there. Everybody getting amped up to see Jeff Jarrett. So that's right. There was a big crew of special guests and everything at this show. Nice. Well, yeah, I think the match was good. I always like to see PME. I think they're better carrying the belts and having the bad guys kind of like try to beat them up and take it from them.
I mean, the title needed to change hands here. There's nobody else for Money Shot to take on. There just wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, look at the division. I'm wondering where they go now, because the division is kind of thin. So who knows? Honestly, I don't even, a lot of times I had ideas of who I would like to see like challenging them. I just don't know. I mean, it's such a hard, next 6 months to predict, because I don't see a lot of tag teams that I would put in there.
It's really funny because like 3 years ago, the opposite was true. Like the tag division was completely stacked, and we couldn't figure out what was going to happen with who and da 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 da. And now it's like there's no tag division. It's just wiped out completely. It's gone. So
yeah, I'm wondering what direction or what kind of new tag teams they're going to get introduced in there, or who they'll grab, because yeah, those guys should be challenging and should be fighting on every big card. So who knows? But I like the match.
There's like 37 students. I mean, you could put some of them together and make teams out of them. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I saw a lot of good tag teams.
Though.
Like Bang & Matthews and Latin Exchange, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
and
but if you want to build teams like so that you have them, they're local. You don't have to import your teams. Like you have a ton of students. You can make it happen.
That's true.
But we did get new tag team champion here, PME, regaining the championship. From there, we go to Joey Janela against Mikey Montgomery. And I'll get here and say that I've been very critical of Joey Janela over the years on this show. And that majority of it is absolutely justified in my opinion. But this was my favorite match of the entire show. This was fucking good.
Yeah. Mikey is a special brand, a special kind of talent. And I feel like he's at this point, you can put him in anything. And Janela really worked. They worked so hard. I mean, I really felt like a big match. So yeah, I liked it very much. Butters, I know you love Mikey. So what did you think of that match?
I mean, it had its moments. I didn't like that it ended with a roll up. Personally, I would have rather had Mikey go over with his Death Valley driver. I don't think he should have needed a roll up to do it. But the match was good. Like I'm definitely a Mikey guy. He's one of my favorites, and So I'm not a huge Joey Janela guy. I do like him, but I think I think it needed a different finish.
I think Joey is absolutely an acquired taste for a lot of people in the industry, like a lot of fans. But I think when you put Joey in if you put Joey in any setting with AIW, I feel like he always delivers. He does. He constantly delivers.
Sure.
Yeah. So
yeah, he does. There's a couple companies he'll go above and beyond for, and AIW is definitely one of them. So I do commend him for that.
Absolutely. Yep.
I think a lot of why I like this one is this did not feel like a Joey Janela match. Yeah, the Joey Janela, and by Joey Janela match, I mean you see him when he really when they kind of let him keep the gloves off, and he just does a bunch of random stuff that sometimes can make sometimes really cool.
Yeah,
to just kind of make the match drag. We didn't get any of that here.
Yeah,
it was about as close to a wrestling match I've ever seen Joey Janela have, and it was fucking great.
Right. There was no like exposition. He didn't have to explain anything. There was no comedy to set up. Like he didn't like look in the crowd and work anything. He just went right at it. And I agree with you. I like that very much.
Yeah, he didn't do a bunch of shit with Door because he wanted to do a bunch of shit with Door.
Right.
Yeah. My wife even liked this match. I mean, that's how good this one was. So
I mean, you can't not like Mikey. There's just nothing he does that I would say like I disagree with or don't like. So yeah, I thought it was great.
Okay. From there, we have Derek Dillinger, accompanied by Katie Arquette, taking on Dan Halkin, and your special guest referee is Magnum PK, going full Shawn Michaels with the short and the polkas.
And that's what I said when they did that. I thought like the pageantry of the match kind of overshadowed the actual in-ring wrestling, because you had the Danhausen Druids and you had Magnum in the Shawn Michaels gear, and it was just all sorts of like optics, like pageantry and whatnot and optics, as opposed to so much technical wrestling. And I thought that was great. I thought that's how you do it. If you're going to do a thing like Absolution like that, that's how you do that.
Well, there's one thing we all said we wanted, and that was Danhausen, not the goofy Danhausen. We wanted serious Danhausen. That's what we got. Danhausen started off just beat the shit out of Derek in the inside, on the outside, all over. really solid, like less than 10-minute match. Did everything it needed to do. Only complaint again is another roll up, 2 back to back like that. And I just felt like just didn't needed a solid finish. These roll ups didn't need to be like that. If there was going to be a roll up, it didn't need to be back to back like it was in 2 matches.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you there. Absolutely. I'm not a fan of using the same, like SummerSlam this weekend where there were 5 matches in a row that used a shoulder spot.
Oh my God, that was.
Yeah.
Even being in the crowd, I'd see the shoulder hit the ring post, and they're like, "Jesus fucking Christ, people, get the
They did it
together."
5 matches in a row. Somebody had a post to the shoulder, and they did shoulder spots 5 in a row. I did not understand it, but yeah.
But the spike was used in the match, and then that spike came home with me because
You have it for real?
yes, at intermission, I told Derek, I was like, I want that spike, and he's like, okay, and I got that spike, so it came home with me.
Good. And I think I thought the ending was fine. No more, I just think Derek should be moving past anything with Magnum and that old production gimmick. I think it's time for to put that like 2019 production gimmick to rest.
I think that's what they were kind of going for. If the match ended, they kind of did the curtain call
where
they all bowed together. I think that's what it was. It was moving on from that era of production. And
yeah, I think that match should have also had some other members of the production, like Frankie Flynn, run out and like like all sorts of craziness in there, almost like the Steve Stone Cold match at WrestleMania with Kevin Owens or something. There's just a million different chicanery going on. Like I would have liked that, but it served its purpose, and I think it was good again for Absolution. When do you get to see like Danhausen Druids and stuff? I think it just is awesome. So
yeah, I will say the placing of this match is a little weird for me. This was the match right before intermission.
Mm-hmm.
And this did not feel like a right before intermission type of match. I would have swapped this with Mikey and Joey, in all honesty.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I like going into intermission on a high,
right?
Get people bugging for that second half of the show. I think Joey and Mikey being in that spot would have done that. I I personally would have put on the match that came back from intermission before intermission. Made that the lead in, and that is Shaw Macon and Dominic Guarini commit or surrender.
Wait a minute, you sure that wasn't the last? You sure that wasn't the intermission match, Guarini and Shaw?
Yes, because I came back late from intermission, and that match was already going on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, like I literally went back. Intermission hit. I went and found Adam Van and Joe Boto and talked to him for a couple of minutes. Got pictures, and like they were already coming back from intermission to this match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they did the same thing at Against the World too. They started. They. I didn't even know when the intermission ended. I was outside like doing something. All of a sudden, the match was already rolling. So, yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay, and I have to give credit to production and everything because Chase, I know how hard he works. I love, and I don't know if you guys probably don't because you think I'm the cheesy, but I fucking love like the AIW merch commercials and all the different things they put into the Fight TV stream. Those little things make a ton of difference when you're sitting around and watching it. I just thought it was pretty awesome to see. They have like a merch page and they show like AIW merch, and here's a model wearing, they have like, the generic model with the shirt on and everything. I just thought it was cool. I just think those little pieces Chase has added, where he shows like the crew walking in the beginning of the AIW, in the beginning of this broadcast. He shows Zagura and the crew walking in, to the temple, and showed Jeff Jarrett walking in. And all those little camera effects mean the world to the viewer at home. And I got to give Chase credit because that's a lot of forward thinking for an independent show.
Chase has done a tremendous job with production over the last year or so. Yeah, every little thing he does improves the show. Like everything's on point. I love it.
I mean, every single show there's something new. Like he's trying. One time he did the outside of the building, doing into the fade in, into the inside. One time he does the walk-ins, they do the commercials, they do the vignettes before. It's just very well thought out. You can tell that it's thought out by somebody who enjoys wrestling and gets the TV part of this. And that's what separates this show from like watching when H2O was on, on IWTV. There's just such a difference, to the production value. So, kudos to Chase, because I didn't get a chance to say that in the beginning. But
coming back from intermission, commit or surrender, Dominic Guarini against Shaw Macon. I mean, Anytime you see Dominic Garrini in a commit a surrender match, you know a bunch of crazy shit's going to happen. This was no different.
Bleed blood. there was so much bleeding of your own blood in this match. It was just everywhere. Dom was just covered in his Sopranos t-shirt and his Satrielli's meat market t-shirt. And what a shame to see that shirt go to waste. But yeah, Dom was bleeding everywhere. They did a lot of fun, innovative spots. I still say the Bishop Guarini match from Slumber Party Massacre is my favorite independent match I've ever seen. But that's just me.
Jgold bought that shirt and got a bunch of good sniffs out of it.
He hasn't sent it to me yet. We'll see when it gets here. Yeah, I like Dom doing anything like this. He takes a risk, by doing this. Dom's wearing the gear, so that's my other problem. Shaw, I'm going to tell you this, young fella. If you're doing a submit or surrender, I better see jean shorts and I better see some sort of cut T-shirt, not your little singlet. You got to get in there and get in the gear.
I get what you're saying with that, but that's not something that's going to bother me too much.
No, it doesn't bother me. I'm just giving Shaw a little bit of friendly advice from this side of the country.
Yeah, I get where you're going with, and I don't necessarily disagree with that, but at the same time, Shawn May can have an amateur wrestling background. If he's gonna always wear that outfit, even in a type of match like that, I get it.
Yeah, he's gonna wear that in a bunkhouse brawl. It's gonna be okay. Instead of cowboy boots and jeans, no, it's not okay. And the knee pads on the outside over the jeans, no.
Yes,
come on. Stop it.
Yeah, you can't. I see Mance Warner wearing an outfit like that in a match like this. Not Shawn Michaels. That's just
Mance Warner wears that all the time.
I said that now, don't you?
However, Shaw Mason could have done that.
He could have.
Should have done that. Could have, should have. Negative 10 points for you, Shaw.
I'm a very big fan of Dom wearing the fucking Zay Garcia bulletproof vest. I like
right?
that. That shit is cool.
They did some sick drops on some shit, man, some chairs, and just it was gross.
Yeah.
There's some gross stuff in this match.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend it. Check it out.
Yep.
Shawn May can get the win. Ty Connect will bow up on that rivalry.
Well, but the way he won was very innovative. I like that. The shoe is off. He beats that foot with a chair and then puts him in the ankle lock. And if you're going to get Dom to submit, there's only one way, and that's shatter his foot. So good for Shaw and good for them for thinking of a spot. I think he could have got him
to submit if he just tickled him a little bit. Heard Dom Green's real ticklish.
Next time you see him, everyone, just give him a little tickle and see what happens.
Just give him a little tickle.
He likes that from fans.
Yeah. He's the Italian tickle dragon, Dominic Greedy.
The tickle dragon.
Yeah. If you're going to try this, make sure you're videotaping the as well.
Right. Because you need to we'll have to show your family when you're buried. Oh God.
All right. From there, we got what we thought was going to be a three-way ladder match. It was the Intense champion Eric Taylor defending against Alex Price and Wes Barkley. We get a little surprise at the beginning of this one. Fonzie comes out and he introduces Matthew Justice returning. I
love Matt Justice. Love him. Love everything about that dude. There's just something different. He's just built like a different human being.
JHawk was very disappointed. He was all about having a threesome, and then the fourth guy came out, and then he just had to sit there and watch.
They cuck it up.
He just he was like, God damn it, this was just like my Friday night with my wife. Now I got to do a Saturday night in Absolution too.
All right,
damn it.
That's enough of that. JHawk, you don't have to respond to that, young man. Oh, I got to say though, Matt Justice is the closest thing to like a rock star moving, like going around as anybody. Like he just rides the road really hard, and you just look at him and you're like, that dude will fuck shit up or has been through wars. So I love that about Justice.
Just cocaine and carnage, man.
That's right. I think it's great.
It's like fucking 80s fucking metal right there.
I think it's great.
He rides that lightning, like he said, brother. That's what it is. Riding lightning into shows. Hasn't been around for 6 months, shows up, title match, fucking goes crazy.
Right.
Fucking puts Eric Taylor to pace, man. Puts him off the fucking truss through a fucking table. Then he fucking gives him a Death Valley driver off a ladder through a fucking ladder. He just beat the absolute piss out of Eric Taylor, fucking speared him off the fucking Eric Taylor holding onto the belt and getting speared off the fucking thing like Edge
like
did
the
to
J-
Jeff Hardy.
yeah,
Like, Jesus
yeah.
fucking Christ. Eric Taylor, star-making performance here. Didn't really care for him. Dude busted his fucking ass for this match. Definitely proved he loves the business. Fucking love this match.
Yeah.
Feel like he really, those two just stole the spotlight from Alec and Wes. Like, Alec had some stuff in it, but fucking Eric and Justice just went out there and just fucking went wild. And the finish, I'm sure JHawk's going to tell us all about. That was even crazier.
Well, so before the match even starts, they're trying to get the belt hung up, and they're having a hell of a time getting the belt hung up. I'm a big fan of, if you have a ladder match on the show, put the belt up there before the show starts, because this kind of thing usually happens when you try to do it during the show.
What
But
was
my
the
wife
issue? I
even
don't
said that
remember.
they were putting that belt up there. That thing's
Yeah.
going to fall before somebody actually grabs it. And
What
sure
was the
enough,
issue the buttons didn't stick. What was the issue? Why did it fall?
as far as why it fell, I have no idea. I haven't asked anybody, haven't talked to anybody about it. But the belt falls and hits the mat, and Wes Barkley scoops it up and wins the title without even climbing the ladder.
So Wes speared Justice through a door and then grabbed the belt as Alec
Right.
Price was diving for it as well, which perfect ending. The way the cameras caught it came up perfect, I heard. So, but in person, like, you could kind of tell, like, they saw it and they're like, oh shit, what do we do? But they covered perfectly. It came out great.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was fun. My number 2 match of the night, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, this got the crowd really, really like back into everything, like hardcore. Like, this match it really did did what it needed to do. It was definitely up there. Probably the best ladder match I've seen in AIW.
Oh,
I would agree with
Butters.
off the top of my head, I cannot think of a better one. I would agree with you on that.
I think the
Yeah, that
last
is
one
high
that was
praise.
this good was I think a Joey Janela one way back at the school way back when.
Oh, cool. All right.
All right. So from there we go to what was, in my opinion, the true main event, even though it didn't go on last.
Yeah, this should have gone on last, honestly, especially with what you did in the main event, and you didn't send the crowd home happy. You could have sent them home happy with this match.
It was billed at the Unilot Brawl. We had members only, Jeff Jarrett and Tottenham King, accompanied by Karen Jarrett, against Joshua Bishop, Tom Lawler, Cam Holloway, and Nathan Kagura. Before we get into the match itself, I did the meet and greet with Jeff Jarrett and with Tottenham King before the show. And yeah, it's cliche to hear an announcer go, well, if you think this guy's big on TV, you need to see him in person. You stand next to this fucking dude, and it's like, oh my God, how big is this fucking guy? Like TV does not do you justice how tall this fucking dude is.
He looks huge. It looks like the ropes are up at his waist.
True fact, guys. Satnam Singh, one of the very few wrestlers that I am not taller than.
Well, indie wrestlers, yes, that is true. Yeah, I have to say, and I think Nathan Zagura has been very interested in this show and this review. So I'm gonna say at first, to start off, I loved his dedication to getting this match over. The whole 2 weeks or whatever it was leading up to it, where he did the podcast, he did the Browns TV, he had Jeff Jarrett calling in. Jeff Jarrett, God bless him. He forwarded this feud. Everything that Nathan did leading up to this shows you the dedication of a guy like that. And again, when we talked about KO, Nathan loves AIW, and he wanted to make this big, and he made it feel really fucking big. You can't tell me that this match did not feel gigantic going into it. He got the gear. I want to know where he got his gear made. So when we speak to him, I'm going to ask him, because I'm wondering who the gear maker is, because it was great. The ZWO. I mean, he fucking leaned into the whole thing. There's not enough guys. I mean, look, we knock Logan Paul, but the guy leans into it. There's several people who lean into like loving it. That dude, Paul Walker Hauser. I mean, that dude,
Walter Hauser,
yeah, he leans into it. Like, Zagura went all the way in. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that he was training, he was ready, he was cutting promos, he was talking shit on Twitter. Him and members only were going at it like brutal, like vicious shit. So God bless that dude. He was ready. The spotlight of being in the ring with Jeff Jarrett. Holy shit! Like, I mean, put that in perspective. This dude has never wrestled, who's done color because he likes wrestling. He was in the ring, it looked great with Jeff Jarrett. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've got two minor complaints with this match, and I thought the match was good, and I agree with everything you said about Nathan Gurr and his performance and his dedication. But my two big gripes with this match: one, as much as I like Nathan Gurr gear, why wasn't he wearing brown color? It should have been orange and brown instead of, he's basically wearing Tennessee Titan colors against Jeff Jarrett. Although maybe that was the reason why. Maybe he's going for mind games with that. We can act when we get him on the show. But the other thing I had an issue with it was called the Muni Lot Brawl, and it was basically played like a straight 8-man tag. And I was expecting this to go all over the building. I was expecting some bells and whistles, and we didn't really get that. Got a little cranky near the end, but not nearly what I was expecting.
I forgot that it was called that, and I actually enjoyed the fact that they kept it like kind of in the area. I did not know how I would feel if they had to take that somewhere and the camera guys weren't covering it for the fans at home. And I would think you guys being there, it would be a lot harder if they were like in places you couldn't see. So, I think it was better.
I just think it was a really cool name that they couldn't pass up calling it.
Right.
But they obviously didn't have any plans for it to be an actual like giant brawl. I just think it was just a cool name for it because, if you're a Cleveland fan, you know about the Muni Lot, and I just think that's what it was.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so especially with Jeff Jarrett in there, I'm expecting a Memphis style. They're going to go all over the Mid-South Coliseum type of brawl out of it. And we got a standard 8-man tag.
I also
think they could have done a little bit of that. They could have done a little bit of that at the beginning, maybe, and then brought it back and then finished up with, what we got.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like, who knows who was putting it together, what kind of time constraints they had. We don't know. We don't know.
I think Temple Live also didn't want them destroying shit all over the arena. I think that was also a problem the last time they did
that. That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Well, fuck them now, but you know what? They probably fucked things up then. So that's the only reason why I say it. So. But I look, everyone in this match worked. Nobody looked like they were taking it as some sort of gimmick. Everybody worked really hard. Big Sam's dives get better and better, even though goddamn that dude. Having Tom Lawler and Bishop on Zagura's team, just everything the pieces came together. The stars aligned for this match perfectly. And I just will say, Calvin G. Lewis standing next to Satnam Singh is a very funny sight.
Tom Lawler coming out to Who Let the Dogs Out when he came in with a Cleveland Brown Canal curve, fucking great.
It's great. The whole match and Zagura doing what to pin somebody with the rock bottom and like some of the shit. At one point he put like Jarrett in between his legs and he did like the Razor Ramon thing, and then Wadsworth is like, I'm not really quite sure what he's doing there. I was like, yes, that's fucking great. I wasn't sure what he was doing either. So I just wanted to make sure. But I also got to give credit to Wadsworth and Dustin that night. They were great on commentary the whole night. So they were really, really good doing that. And Dustin's relationship with Zagura and how he has his favorites and Zagura's got his favorites. I just like that. I think the way the two guys opposite of Wadsworth kind of share different storylines here and there is kind of fun. Then Wadsworth said Zagura did the broski boot, and he's like, it's the only time the broski boot ever got cheered in AIW. I mean, there were some really good lines, and it was just really that whole match was like a spectacle. Really well done.
Yeah, I like the match. I don't feel like my criticisms are shitting on the match. That's not the case.
Not
I like the match. It wasn't what I expected. This was the Absolution version of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, where you were expecting the match to be one type of match, and you got a different type of match. That's not necessarily that what you got was bad, but it wasn't what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But it was Nathan Kagura's team getting the win. Calvin G. Lewis taking off his boots and leaving him in the ring, and Malcolm Cambridge going, "What the fuck you doing?"
What is he doing?
I mean, traditionally, when you leave your boots in the ring, that's the sign that you're getting ready to call it quits. I don't know if that's the case or not, but
I hope not, because I like members only. They need to get in there and get more reps and get going. I like their personalities as a team. So who knows?
Maybe it's their time to move on from the territory. Who knows?
Yeah. And from there, we have our what they build as the main event, final match of the evening. Chuck Stone defending the Absolute Championship against Isaiah Broner. And coming off of the Crazy Ladder match, coming off the 8-man tag, that was the best built match of the night. I feel bad for these guys, because no matter what they did, it was not going to get the reaction some of the earlier stuff did. It just didn't have that. This did not feel like an Absolution main event, especially coming after the other matches.
I have said that 1,000 times. I am not kidding you. And I think you can go back and hear a lot of our reviews for AIW. When they used to have Derek and Bishop and the Intense title before the Absolute title, it as the main event. I know you put your big title at the main event. The match before it always seems the penultimate match always seems to really over like take so much energy away from the crowd that by the time you get to that match, you're doing them a disservice. So I don't know how you correct that. But yeah, they deserve. I like both these guys. I know Butters, you have your issues. I like both these guys a lot. I love Chuck as a champion. I think he is a fucking asshole, and people really do. They play off of that, and they really do react to him. But it's hard when everybody is burned out from like some of these matches that you do before. So I think that there needs to be some sort of, when you look at it, maybe you don't put that where it is, but who knows?
It's been an issue with the Absolute title for like 3 or 4 years now. Like even when Bishop was champion, everybody's burned out by the time the main event comes around for that title. So then that title just becomes the belt that like a handful of people stick around to watch. Which makes complete sense why Chuck Stone is the champion now, because everybody just leaves during his matches. So that's what I plan on doing from here on out. The stage can be when I leave at the end of the night, and enjoyed 7 other matches that were really good and not his. So
I don't agree with you, but anyway.
And again, another case of where I like the match. I like everything they did in the match, but just you're coming off what the majority of that crowd thought was the main event. And that that immediately followed the ladder match. It was just right. The placement itself.
The 8-man should have been the main event. Now I say what I said, but I stayed and watched this. I stayed and watched the 4-way. Like I say these things, but I still stayed and watched the matches. Like I just have to get my shots in it, Chuck. This match was good. I honestly thought Brunner was going to win it. I was really hoping for that. Didn't get that. Pretty bummed. The 4-way that they set up for after this made me kind of excited for the 4-way. 4-way was pretty good again, but the crowds just usually burn out by the time you get to that main event. It's just, I don't envy anybody that has to go in that main event spot, because unless you do it a certain way, it never lands. You always have just a burnout crowd by the end of the night, it feels like.
It's just a problem with the where it falls. I mean, WWE, look, I'm not saying WWE does everything right, but I will say maybe, just maybe, you put that penultimate match one before, and then you can put either the women's match or you can put a one-on-one match in there that gets some of that crowd back. Because there is too much expended energy between the second to last match and the last match. That's really that's just my opinion there. Everything else, I like both guys. I'll never agree with you, Butters, on that one, but I do think.
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Broner. Don't act like I just shit on Broner. But Chuck Stone, I like him as a person. I don't think he's the right person to be champion right now, but whatever. What I do think is that Thorne and whoever helps him book has not figured out how to book the main event scene yet. They're trying you can tell they're trying to figure it out. They're going to get it, and it's going to be great when they do, but they have not been able to crack that code just yet on how to make this work. Because you see some of these other companies, by the time that main event comes around, the crowd, is tired, but usually they're still cranking and rocking and rolling. Like Enjoy, they're cranking, rock and rolling all the way through. There's other companies, they get to that main event, you can tell they're tired, but they're ready to rock and roll. And AIW crowds are usually pretty good about that, but just sometimes it just really feels really dead by the time they get to that match. It's just like they've given everything they had for these other ones, and I don't think they've figured out how to crack that code just yet. So hopefully they do.
If this was going to go on last, maybe stick Danhausen and Derek in that semi-final spot in between the 8-man tag and the title match.
Even that is too much. I think that's too much. You're having too much. There's too much emotion in things like that. There's got to be a place where people can just kind of calm down and watch the match and enjoy it. And I don't know. It is what it is.
And I mean, I don't know if there's really a right answer either. You're looking at a show like Absolution where you want every match to be worthy of being on that show.
Right.
I don't know if there was a right answer. If you felt the title match had to go on last, I don't think there was a right answer. But Chuck Stone does retain. We do get the setup for the 4-way against the world with Alex Price, Derek Dillinger, and Joshua Bishop, where they tease that they're going to do it that same night, and they decide, nope, sorry, that's a bait and switch. We're not doing it. Because they teased they were going to send the crowd home happy and then still didn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, a thumbs up show.
Of course. It's Absolution, baby. Of course it is.
Overall, a great show. I didn't like how it ended. And I'm not going to lie, I was planning on going to the after party that night. And because I didn't like the way it ended, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go to the after party because I don't want to take something out of emotion that I don't necessarily mean. I went home, but.
Look at you. You're going to start some shit after a show? Look at you, JHawk.
I didn't want to start shit after a show. That's why I didn't go to the after party.
Dude.
Because you're a pussy. You should have went and started shit.
Exactly. I don't ever see I don't talk any wrestling at the after party. That's what's fun. So anyway.
Well, my wife and I have been, my wife and I have been out all day.
I don't agree with your booking, and then you walk out.
Right. Yeah, that's what you do, JHawk. You walk right up to Thorne and you go, pardon me, I disagree with your booking, and then you just turn around and walk out.
Now, I'm trying to be good about trusting the process and seeing where they're going with it, but I don't have to like where they're going with it.
You walk up to them with a leather glove and you slap them in the face with it.
Right.
And you say, I don't agree with your booking. I challenge you to a duel. And then you turn around and leave.
Challenge him to a duel.
And it's not like they killed off my favorite character or something and took the heart of the show out or whatever. But
I mean, worst case scenario, you could sick your pit bull on him.
That dog's a pit bull? I thought the dog was a boxer. It's a pit bull?
My dog got pit terrier mix.
Okay.
Gosh, I was talking about his wife.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
You.
I don't do that.
Fuck you, Butter.
No. Nope.
She has the same breathing issues as a pit bull. It's all right.
What the fuck?
I don't.
Or a bulldog or whatever I said it was.
What the hell?
Can't even keep my insults straight tonight.
New season, same insults.
I need to go to bed.
All right.
I got
plugs.
Fucking fever brain going on. I'll tell you that I had a fever dream last night. It was insane. There was like dragon ladies and like post-apocalyptic world shit. It was craziness. It's just insane.
Nice. Anyway, JHawk plugs.
All right, find me on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at RefJHawk, Instagram at JHawk1539. The Twitch channel, we've been doing 2K24. We've been doing a universe based off WWF 1984 with some results that I never would have expected even in a video game. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm doing that usually about 2 or 3 times a week. So check those out when you find them. And my next booking is August 17th for Real Action Pro Wrestling. Hot summer fight from the Ohio Urban Renaissance Center in beautiful Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, good. That means you can go to Wrestle Rager then, right?
I'll have to check my finances. I'm hoping to, but
good because you're driving.
Okay. I've never gone to a proper rager. The only rager I went to is the pandemic rager, and he wants me to drive to my first actual rager.
Yeah, because I've driven to plenty of them. It's fine. It'll be okay. It's just Detroit Avenue. It's all right.
I'll drive there, but you might have to drive home.
That's fine. We've done that before. I don't really have any plugs. Check out Time Capsule Toys and Toy Hio. Next Toy Hio is October 12th. Wardlow is signed to be there, and there's like 2 more guests being announced pretty soon. What else can I say? That's it. I'm enjoying my job as a Time Capsule Toys henchman is what I call myself now. I bought so many and got so many figures signed this for my birthday. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I don't have room for any of these. It's insane.
Did you bring all those all the toys, all your figs that you got signed? You brought them from home for that?
So I brought a Jeff and a Matt to get signed. The Walter figure I found there signed because High Spots had like a whole wall of figures that were like signed already and authenticated from like when they do their signing events. So like that's how I found my Bryan Danielson figure. I was like, oh, I'm buying that. I literally walked in, saw that wall, saw him, and grabbed him right off the shelf. I was like, yeah, I'm buying this right now. This is my birthday present to myself. And then like 20 minutes later, I was looking and they had the Walter figure, and I'm like, yep, I'm buying that too. So that's how I started off my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jgold12. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Our Twitter handle, IWGuide1, patreon.com/IWGuide. Don't forget about the merch store over at Brainbuster Tees. New stuff, all sorts of new stuff is coming. So I'm not gonna plug any exact stuff, but we are gonna be in the lab creating some new stuff and new merch, and I hope everybody likes it. Listen to our podcast, Friends at Odds with Wrestling. The Card is going to change. The Super Fantastic Podcast and Marks with Mikes. I got a chance to hang out with the big fella Jermaine on Thursday. He's always just fun to talk to and hear about his family and everything else. He's a good dude. Check out our other friends. JCP Designs, the official graphic designer of the Indie Wrestling Guide. Magnum CK's now that's what I call wrestling. Time Capsule Toys, Toy Hio, Rubber City Toys, Big Starks brand, Women's Wrestling Watch of Northeast Ohio, Gorilla Press Apparel, and Smokin' Jay's Barbecue, the best barbecue in Ohio. That's all I got. I hope everyone had a great summer. We are back. Put your surfboards away. Time to listen to the show. Butters, see you guys next time.
Later, everybody.
Later, dweebs.
Don't forget to review and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Find us online at Facebook and Instagram at the Indie Wrestling Guide. And on X or Twitter at IWGuide1.